each and every one of us, which if we don't bring to manifestation, then the futures will be terminated. Let's say, Mr. Philip, if the person who discovered the cure for maybe these pandemics that we've had, like tuberculosis and these other diseases, if that person had no vision of what that vaccine would do for the humanity, meaning would have suffered from that. Who knows, maybe the person who is supposed to discover the cure for HIV and AIDS, maybe he has a formula, but he is not still believing in himself. He doesn't see to say that what he has is what we need. Then that will make us suffer. So meaning, I believe every human being, there are a lot of destinies that are attached to them. So our failure and our success affects other people. So there are people that the Lord has assigned to your life, Mr. Philip. So if you don't step into your greatness and manifest what the Lord has put in you, meaning all those people that are supposed to benefit from what the Lord has put in you will suffer from that, because you've not envisioned. So you are an ambassador who has to come from the future, meaning you have to see the end of your life. You have to see your expected future. That's when you have the energy to pursue it, because you cannot pursue what you don't envision.
Interesting.
Wow.
Okay, this
such a young person, so encouraging and so inspiring, I must say.
Yeah, and it's a challenge to you, Betty.
Definitely.
Who has been reporting for work with the notes to say, Philip, I'm coming up with a book, and it's over.
I've been challenged right now. I need to work on my future now. I need to look at beyond the present. It's one of the things. But I'm also interested in everything is a risk. There's I think a topic which says everything is a risk. Why everything should be a risk.
Okay, so actually, you know, being born is a risk. Growing up is a risk. Starting a job is a risk. Marrying is a risk. Raising children is a risk.
Wow.
Everything is a risk. So people, if people want to start something and look at the risk of them, why it can't work, then because we are born as even just a birth of someone is a risk. Even from just a simple scientific research, you find that before a child is born, when a male and a female they mate, when there's that intercourse, a man will release approximately 600 million sperms. Okay, not 6 million but 600 million sperms. Out of all those possibilities of 600 million sperms, only one sperm will fertilize the egg. So meaning every human being that we see walking on the planet is a product of 600 million possibilities of people being born. So me, I was picked out of 600 million people. So meaning for me to be born, 599 million people died. Okay, so I survived those odds.
That
so
is
meaning
interesting.
whatever I want to embark on is risky.
Wow.
So if people want to look at the negative part of saying, okay, if I write a book, what if it won't sell? But why don't they look at the aspect of saying, what if it sells? Okay, what if I apply for that job? What if they don't pick me? Now, why can't we put it in another way to say, what if they pick me? Okay, what if I start a business? What if it becomes a global business? Then they look at, okay, if I start a business, what if people won't like my products? So people have attached them not moving forward to say, this is risky, I can't get my money and invest it in this business. What if I make loss? What if I do this? So people have got risk attachments. The excuse of people is it is risk to doing it. What if I fail my exam? What if I do this? So whatever I want to achieve in life, it is always a risk. So you just have to step out, and it is more risk. One of the authors said, the greatest risk is not taking a risk. So the more you don't take a risk, the more it is risk for you. So just step out and take a risk. Then,
so this what basically this chapter teaches us is about to never entertain negative thoughts. You
are right, Sam. We just have to step out. In one of my chapters for my previous book, Exceeding the Boundaries of Senses, I said, start before you are ready. So you have to, sometimes you have to act as though there is no failing, if people want to do something, then they've got something that is holding them back. They have to ask themselves, if failing was not guaranteed, if whatever you embarked on, there was no aspect of failing, what would you want to do? So just act as though there is no failure. Then when failure hits you, then just handle it. In one of the chapters in my previous book, I said bouncing back from failure. So if we have to step out and step into greatness and tap into the possibilities that we have to overlook the aspect of negative energy. Like you've said, Mr. Philip, actually in my introduction I said, if you look at the introduction of this same book, one of the people that I look up to very much, when I told them to say I want to write a book, the first time I approached them, they said you cannot write a book. Actually, maybe you are too young. Start writing maybe when you are 30, 35, at least you are older enough. So I found to say the people that we look up to most of the times are people that have got a possibility to kill our dreams.
At what age were you when you were told that maybe you can't do a book?
That when I was 20, that was at first I wanted to write a book at the age of 19. So I was told you cannot do it now. So I kept waiting.
So when was your first publication? At what age?
That was 22 years.
Okay.
Yes.
So in the first press, in the first time you were actually told that you can't do a book, you're too young.
Yes. So that kept me waiting. So who knows? Maybe that time that I was delayed, probably I would have done more copies than now. So a lot of people, the people that we look up to, the people that we admire, they've got the greatest possibility of them killing our dreams more than we ever think. Because if I follow someone who I look up to, then I tell them I want to do this, when they say you can't do it, and I respect them that much, and whatever they say to me is good, and I honor them. They are my mentors. It's easy for me to step back to say, no, my mentor said. So we have to be careful with when people say you can't do it, especially if them themselves have not done it. Then I'm sure we just have to step out and do it.
Wow, interesting thoughts there. I think I'm loving what I'm hearing. I'm like nodding my head in the background, like, okay, where did we get this diamond in Zambia? So now my next question now is, how are you now helping the young people, like, actually get to be more influenced other than just writing the books? Do you reach out to the young people in schools? What other programs do you do to make sure that you promote the work that you're doing?
Okay, actually, I'm running an organization called Think World. Think World, we just look at orphanages. We usually have got visitations for orphanages. Those people that are challenged as the older citizens who can no longer who are able to sustain themselves. So we reach out in schools. We give motivational talks. We want to bring out the greatness in people. We are just there to remind people to say, whatever you're doing now is not all you can do. There is something great in you. So we've got an organization that we're running. Then we do outreaches in orphanages and schools. Actually, we've had a lot of programs. We've been visiting a lot of secondary schools and primary schools, even those special schools for those that are physically challenged. We want to show them care and to say, as long as they are breathing, there's still hope for them.
Wow, interesting.
So that work is only in the schools within the city of Lusaka?
Yes, sir.
Any plans of maybe extending to other?
Yes, we have a global vision. Actually, we are just working on it. We want to extend our wings everywhere. We want to have a global. We want to touch the global space, sir.
Have you partnered with other organizations, or maybe you're yet to partner with other organizations, so that where probably you have limitations, you can also ride on other partners to actually make sure that you deliver the good message that you are writing in these books?
Yes, actually, we were working with a few organizations, but the space is unlimited. It's open for people to come on board, because what we want to do is that we just want to bring, we want to improve our society. So therefore, as long as people of like mind come to join us, we don't mind. What we want to change the society.
So what are these people we are talking about? Is it just individuals, or maybe non-government organization, or
it's collectively a group of people. Other people are joining us as organizations, others are joining us as independent entities. So it's quite something. We've got a global vision, but we are just starting. So it's so open for people to join us, and we are ready to take up the space, sir.
Okay. So to that dear listener out there, who is I'm confident is following this program, and they would love to be part of your works that you are doing, how can they reach you? How can they get to join that organization and be part of the change that would want to see in this world?
Okay, they can reach out. They can reach us on our line. I don't know if I can give it right now on air.
Any Facebook platform or anything?
Okay, we have a Facebook platform. They can just search for Saviour Mtali Author. That's where our programs are.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So the other thing I wanted to find out from you is the book also online? Just besides it obviously being in hard copy, that those people who are actually, maybe nowadays, I know the issue of the internet and all that. Other people prefer obviously reading soft copy kind of like, books rather than just buying a copy. So have you thought of it that way, or you are yet to work on that, or you're doing that already?
Actually, it's not yet online, but the group of typesetters are still working on it so that they can get it online. So I'm sure by the end of next month, it will be online. To advertise it, it will be easily accessible.
Okay.
Yes.
So don't you think once it gets online, there'll be so much issues to do with copyright? So how are you going to protect your copy?
Actually, each and every book, there is what we call the ISNB number, which when someone writes a book, then they have that ISNB number. So meaning it's when someone does the copying and maybe they want to get it using illegal ways, in
even just downloading it.
Actually, when it has it is secured, so there will be the process of people getting it. It is well secured. We've got the code number for the same book. Each
so
book
you'll
has
be alerted in case someone wants to download without actually maybe even buying or anything, or they want to change anything.
Yes, actually, we've got online bookstores that will put the book on. Then so we'll probably even put it on. Those people that can't afford to buy it, we can also put it on free download. So it will be put in categories.
To be put on free download,
yes,
the entire book, or it just be an abstract of that book?
Actually, we are still working on it. We'll try to see if those people that can't afford it, then we can use the online for them, which is for free downloads. Those people that are addicted to free stuff, anyway, they can access
it. Is it on free download? And free bundles that we get from our service providers. Don't you think you're going to make absolutely maybe nothing from your investment of time and other resources if you just have free copy?
Okay, actually, we'll look into it.
Interesting. So I would just also love to get the insight about this interesting contents that I've seen in your book, which is passion is a fuel.
I almost came to that. Like, how do I fuel my passion? Hey.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, a lot of people are so enthusiastic about what they want to do.
Okay.
And I believe everyone wants to be great. The seed of greatness is in everyone, is in every person.
Okay.
The only reason why people feel jealous when someone does something better than them is it's an indication to show that what has been put upon them to step into their greatness is being provoked to say, if that one has done it, you also have to do it. But now they don't know how to channel their energy. They end up now hating on people, so that shows that we all want to be great. There is that greatness in us. But now what will make that greatness to come to life is passion. Passion is stronger than death.
Okay.
You cannot kill you can kill someone, but you cannot kill their dream.
Okay.
So if people have got passion and they step out to their passion usually intensifies your energy while pursuing your dreams. Meaning when you are told no, it won't be enough for you because it is a fuel that you have. When I was writing my book, I encountered a lot of setbacks in terms of, especially when I was just starting, in terms of publishing the Facebook.
Okay.
So you find that sometimes you might call upon maybe relatives and people that you look up to, your mentors, and other people that you feel they might help you financially, and they would say no. Then I would almost give up. Then after finishing my book, I'll be like, I had to spend all this time, sleepless nights, working on this book, and I can't just let it be like this. So when you've got passion for what you want to do, no is not enough for you. A lot of people have got dreams, but they lack the drive to pursue them. Okay. So passion becomes a drive, even if people say no. For you, no is not enough. Look at prolific leaders that we have, like Nelson Mandela. That man spent about 27 years in prison, not because he was a murderer, not because he did something wrong, but he was so passionate about seeing justice in South Africa. Okay. That man was a lawyer with a family, but he had to spend 3/4 of his adulthood in jail because he wanted to see the deliverance of the people of South Africa. So that shows passion. Someone who has got passion, they can give up their life for what they want to do. Well, if you discover your area of gifting, everything just falls apart. Time won't be a factor because you want to do it. So passion becomes a fuel. It helps you to overlook even setbacks. It helps you to overlook even negative talks about people. It helps you to overlook critics about people. When you've got passion about what you want to see your dream coming to life, you are going to do anything and everything possible to see it. So it becomes fuel. Even if you feel like nothing is in the tank to go on, you still go on because you've got what it takes. Look at people like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah.
Those people didn't die old. He died 39 years old, but he had passion to see America change. All those people, Malcolm X, a lot of people like that I can give examples. Even our own Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, they had to see that this nation is delivered from the hands of the colonial masters. So when you've got passion, let's say if you've got passion, then someone says no to you. The moment someone says no to you, no, we can't sponsor you with this, then you pack, you step out of your highway. It means you didn't have passion. But if you've got passion, it helps you even to increase the energy in your work. So passion helps you to be persistent, because people that are persistent, I read one of the articles said persistence is the hard work that you do after doing the hard work. So when you've done the hard work, now the extra hard work that you put in, that is persistence. So a lot of people have got a passion to a lot of people have got the will. People, in fact, people just have a wish. People wish I can write a book. People wish I can write a song. People wish I can sing. I can produce a song. I can compose a song. They have that wish in them. It's in them. It's not that people have got absent of dreams. They have. I would love to have my own business. I would love to be my own boss. But now making it come into life is what passion comes to substitute. Now people don't have passion to do it. They are willing. They have got they are so aware that they want to do it, but they don't have a passion to make it happen now. So the making it happen is what makes a difference now. So passion is that what equalizes people now to make it now.
Okay, interesting. And I feel this book is so applicable in so many spheres of life, be it in your building your relationship with your partners, as well as just a family relationship.
I was actually even thinking in my own thing, like, okay, it could be an abstract also from the Bible somehow, because it's talking about a lot of work to do with how God works and how, as a young person, you can understand God in simple terms, how you can move your passion and make it real, how you can actually achieve your dreams. So now I wanted to find out from your end, are you also working with the youths from the churches? Have you probably partnered with the churches also, just to ensure that this good information also is shared with the youths in the churches? Because most youths in the churches, I think they're more complacent with the issue of just for example thinking, oh, God will do it for me, and they just fold their arms and all they do is pray. Sometimes if you're coming from a Pentecostal background and just fighting the devil, thinking the devil has to flee and then money will drop from heaven. So I wanted to find out from you, because this is like a motivation to my end, and being a young person, I feel there's a lot of drive in this book that can help a lot of young people actually open up their minds to actually achieving their dreams.
Okay, so what we're doing is that we've got church-based programs for youths at our church. So we have opportunities whereby we have got youth conferences, we've got coming together programs, sports are arranged so that we can have interaction with other denominations. So that's why we have the opportunity to share with other people, the other youths, and we have to impart knowledge in them, because you find that a lot of Christians they are blaming God for not doing it, and they are taking God to be a magician. Actually, God has given us all that we need. Even in the Bible, it's written to say He has given us all the spiritual blessings. God has already finished His work. He has already given us what to do. He's already put a spirit of greatness in us. He's told us to dominate. But now they want God now to move them and do things for them. More or less, He has given the capacity to do it. So actually, yes, we are working with other youths. We take advantage of the platforms that we are given as youths to come together, where seminars are taught, where people are taught about relationships, work, and everything. So we use that platform. We make even drama, we make poetry, we make all those things so that we can just sensitize the youths.
Okay, so I'm getting back to the statement that the sentiment that Era mentioned, that this book is so applicable in so many spheres of life, be it entrepreneurship, career-wise, and relationship-wise. Because if I'm in education, I would just think to say, okay, I do not need to start studying tomorrow, even if I'm preparing for my exams, which is in December. Let me do it now. And you've used the example of the likes of Nelson Mandela in South Africa, who wanted to see to it that South Africans are liberated, and also our founding father, Kenneth Kaunda also sacrificed a lot with others like the likes of Simon Mwansaka and others. And we are heading towards the 2021 general polls, and this radio station it has come at a time where at the right time. So we are propagating for peace, unity and love in this country. So looking at issues to do with passion, we are passionate about at Christian Nation FM, and everyone out there, every Christian out there and every Zambian out there, we want them to be passionate about seeing that Zambia that can go to the general polls without issues to do with tribalism coming up, hate speech, and political violence. How can they make a good use of this book to achieve that which they would want to see in a society?
Okay, I believe change starts with the person. We cannot change the nation if we've not changed ourselves. So anyone who has got the mandate to change a society, anyone who has a vision to change the country or maybe to change the world at large, they have to change themselves. They have to be the change first. So you cannot have an impact on a society if you don't have an impact on yourself. So if the first step of changing the society and maybe upholding peace among its youths and other people is when the youths discover who they are. I believe if someone knows who they are and they find their vision for living, they find their purpose for living, it will save a lot of lives. For example, the way I am right now, I know that I can't I venture into violence. I can't get maybe a weapon and injure my fellow youth because of the work that I do. I've got a mandate to see that people's lives are transformed. The way Mr. Philip, you are, the way Madam Betty, the way she's working, she cannot indulge herself into violence. So it's because we found something better than violence. So the only change that we can have in the country is when people discover what their role is on the planet. I believe every human being appeared in this time of history to... There's something that the Lord knew that no one will fix it until Mr. Philip is born to fix it. That's why you are born in this period. The one reason that you are not born in the time of maybe Shaka is because the Lord knew that what you carry right now, the content that you have in you and what Madam Betty carries, is what will benefit this generation. So meaning the Lord has put a specific time of your existence, because your solutions that you carry, your thoughts, your ideas, your inventions, your innovations will benefit us in this nation at this particular time. So it's when people just discover themselves, then all these things won't be there. You know, the only reason that people it's simple. The only simple reason that people venture into violence and maybe crime, vandalism, assaults is because they don't know themselves. It's it's what we call identity crisis. Because some people feel like if I join a gang of people that are causing violence, I will have a sense of belonging. If I put my hairstyle like this, at least I have this appearance. If I wear things like this, so it's the identity crisis that what makes people behave and join gangs, because they know if I belong to a group where we're causing violence, I have a certain name in that group, and at least it will make me feel a sense of belonging. But if someone has got they've got dignity in what in who they are and their discovered purpose, they don't need to cause violence for them to prove a point. So it's only people just discovering their purpose for living. That's all. When people have discovered their role on the planet, they need to save us from violence, because anyone would have known the assignment.
Interesting thoughts.
So what would be your message, especially to our political leaders who are obviously looking at us as young people, as people of influence, but again looking at us in another angle, like what my colleague has just mentioned, issues of actually using us as tools of violence? What would you advise them, since you're a young person and you're looking forward obviously to that time also to actually make that democratic decision? Okay,
actually I cannot make direct remarks to political parties. The nature of the field of academics, I'm not allowed to. Yes. But actually, it's just young people to know themselves, to save them from a lot of violence. Because if I come to Mr. Philip, I try to give him money to go and maybe kill someone, or maybe to go and injure someone. If he knows he has values, he has good principles, he has good morals, he won't do it, because he knows what he can promote. He knows the level at which he can go, the extent at which he can go. So the problem is the young people. They don't know themselves.
Wow.
There is absence of responsibilities in young people. That's why you find that a lot of young people are not even in governmental positions, and they're not taking leadership. It's because the older generation, they don't trust young people. In the chapter of the same book, there's a chapter that I've said, closing generational conflict. Closing the gap among generations is that you see, the older generation, they've got resources. The younger generations, they've got skills. So now the challenge that we have is that there's a gap between the older and the younger generation. The older generation see the younger generation to be full of the lack of seriousness, and the younger generation, they see the older generations not to be supportive. So if we can close the generation whereby the younger people are able to see the older generation to be so resourceful and to empower them, then we'll have no problems. It's because the younger generations feel they need some sense of independence, and the older generation feel like, I cannot empower these people because there is lack of seriousness. You employ a garden boy, a young man, tools end up missing. You ask him, where did you put the tools? I don't know, because there's lack of responsibilities. That's why you find that a lot of security guards are older men. People in position, sometimes it's not because they want to hold on to positions until they die. It's because they don't see someone who's responsible enough to handle the same.
Okay.
The way you're working here, sir, you find that you might be sick. Then you want someone to come and take up your role, just to act on your part, because today you're not feeling well. But you look around, you see, if you put maybe young people, like a young man like me, I end up missing things here. You find that the microphones are missing here, the remotes, you don't see them. you find reports, things scattered. So it will be difficult for you to give up your position. Even if you are sick, you'll be just here dying in the studio, because you cannot give up the position, because there's no one who is ready to take up the responsibility. That's what is happening in our country. Because I hear these stories where people say, no, people in government, they don't want to empower young people. They want, but young people are not serious. You give them a position, they end up misusing resources, they end up wasting things.
Okay. Interesting.
What a challenge. It's a challenge thrown at the young people.
Yeah.
So I feel if there's that young person that is listening out there, we have an author in the studio with us on our program, Let's Face It, and is making us face it for real.
Indeed, we are facing it today.
Definitely.
Okay. And quickly, we'll just jump to one of the contents from your book, which is a speed trap. What is this speed trap? Is it the ones that we see mounted by...
I wanted to ask
you. Speed trap is just an argument that I brought to show that since we want to overtake time, we know that time is not waiting for anyone. Time is an entity that is always on a constant move. Societies, religious bodies, school, they've got a different definition for time. So when people take up the mandate to say, I want to be a leader, I want to be an author, I want to do this, the moment you just step out to pursue your dreams, critics will come. So there are speed traps that the society has put. There is what the society expects you to do, Mr. Philip. They've got a certain expectant of how far you can go. So the moment you start saying, from just being a presenter here and a leader here at Christian Radio Nation, I want to be a presenter at BBC, I've got a dream of becoming a presenter at BBC, they'll say, no, it's impossible, you cannot go there, we just want you to be confined in Zambia. So speed trap is what makes a lot of people, after stepping out, the moment they just step out, they discover their vision, they step out, they trap to say, you cannot go this far, comes in. So the society has got what we call, they've got a benchmark of how far we can go. They've got what they want us to do. That's why you find that even the school systems in Zambia, they are mostly set and designed by our parents. The moment I just get good grades in my grade 12 examination, they'll say, since you've got 6.7 points, you'll be a doctor. If I say, okay, I've got 7 points or 6 points, but I want to do business studies, they will say you're a failure. How can you go and do business studies? But I know that if I go and do business studies, I'll flourish in my endeavors. So speed traps is what people want us to do. These are limitations that they've set. The moment you just step out, the only thing that you can do not to upset people and to avoid critics is to do nothing. The moment you just do something, people will start talking, and it's what makes people limit their speed. They say, if I do this, people will talk. If I do this, people will talk. So people end up packing their dreams and taking their greatness to the graveyard.
Very emotional.
Yeah. I can say I'm enriched with knowledge that I've received today.
I'm just nodding my head like, what did we get today?
Okay, so to you, our dear listeners out there, let's ensure that whatever is being discussed here, let it sink into our minds and see how it can help us as we approach life challenges, among other issues. And the second, the other contents that I'd love to look at is where you say it is uncomfortable.
Okay, it is uncomfortable. Pursuing our dreams is uncomfortable. You know, you step into your original greatness, what the Lord has put and designed you to be. It's very much uncomfortable. Looking at the society that we've grown up in, the knowledge that we've been exposed to, we are born in a society whereby we believe much in what the devil can do to us and what God can do for us. So people believe in what can make them fail more than what can make them succeed. So I find that their passion to desire to succeed is less than the passion to fail.
Okay.
When someone wants to step into something, the energy of them fearing failure is higher than the energy of them fearing how to succeed. So it's uncomfortable because you are stepping into a comfort zone, out of your comfort zone. I wrote in my book to say, the greatest killer of dreams is comfort zone.
Okay.
No one has ever done something big and massive which is extraordinary that people can say and people that can look at and say, wow, this is amazing, when they were so comfortable. It's us being comfortable, that's what makes us not step into greatness. You find that a lot of people that have died, Mr. Philip and Madam Betty, they died with the idea of writing a book. Someone said I would love to write a book, but they were saying maybe I'm not good in terms of grammar, maybe writing. People won't like my writing. Some people have said I want to be a motivational speaker. Maybe my English is not good. People want to start business. They're saying maybe people won't buy my products. Like I mentioned earlier on. So you step into your new area of giftings and step into your greatness. It is very much uncomfortable because you are transitioning from the society that you've been born, which says you cannot do this. So you step into what you feel like you can do. It's very much uncomfortable because you start facing challenges. You find that people that are in that field again, they will start feeling again uncomfortable with how you're coming. You become like a competitor, and this thing of competition has caused a lot of people to be injured again in life, because instead of people focusing on the area of their gifting, they start to look at who is my competitor. The moment you just come up to say I'm an author, those people that have been writing for a long time, they feel like you are coming to compete with them, and yes, they will make it difficult for you to match their level.
And talking about competition in every field, you are just entered the field of the writers in Zambia in the year 2014, not
2018.
2018. How has it been? How is the collaboration among your fellow authors?
Well, actually, the circle of my friends who are writing books is so massive, it's so much supportive. Actually, I'm a writer because I attended the conference of writers. There's the statistics that they did. They said you cannot attend a book conference for 3 times without the possibility of you becoming a writer soon. So I attended the conference. I didn't know the person, the guy in person. Mainga Smonga is a student at Tunza. He just advertised the book on Facebook to say I have a book launch on 26th of August. That was a Sunday afternoon. Then I just saw the book review, how he was posting, advertising his book. Then I attended. Then they had put a price to say the one who is going to reach first at the conference will get a free copy. Actually, the book launch was supposed to start at 14 hours. Me, I reached at 11 hours, just wanting to get a copy of the same book. I reached 11 hours. So when I met with him there, we had the interaction, then he was so supportive. Then I had to find my mentor, my director, Mr. Raphael Mbewe. He's written now 14 books now. 14 books. And I've got a lot of people that have been so supportive. So far, so good. My circle of friends who are writing, the team is so supportive. They've been people that have been behind the push.
Okay, I can attest to that because Mr. Mutale here was actually introduced to me by a good colleague, a good journalist.
Wow.
Bere Wazuru is a journalist at Radio Phoenix.
Wow.
So I can attest to what he says, that there is that collaboration amongst the Zambian authors. And we just love to say that keep up with the same spirit. And you also do likewise to the other upcoming writers like the likes of Betty.
I'm going to walk my free now. No more speed traps.
Yeah. It is just getting so interesting in the field of writers in Zambia, because we've got other potential writers, good writers, so to say, like the likes of, is it Ngula Masheve? There's also Belewa Zulu and Saviour here, among others.
Exactly. Yeah, the other question I had for you was actually to find out if there are any special privileges, like for those young people that maybe cannot afford the book, though I don't know how much it's going at. Are there those special privileges where you probably maybe give those books for free if you have such kind of cases? And have you done any book launches yourself? Like, has your book been launched?
So from the from this fourth book that I've written, I started writing while I was in school, and actually my academic nature of studies so much occupied that I rarely have time. Actually, I almost failed to come to the interview.
Yeah, because we were supposed to be together last week, and
yes. So I just rushed from class to come. So I've been so busy that I've had no time to put up the book launch. But most of the times, what I do is that whenever I go somewhere, maybe I'm given a privilege to give a speech to youth, so maybe motivate people, maybe in a church setup or maybe any organization, I usually carry free copies. So that when I meet people that are so exceptional, then I usually give them. I usually give my books mostly to people that usually come earlier than everyone to the conference, because I like people that are time conscious. So those are some of the people that usually benefit from the privilege, and those that usually, then when I walk in a conference, maybe it's a conference, the nature of a conference, maybe someone who is smartly dressed than everyone else, at least I give him a copy as well, because I love classes. So anyway,
so I'm sure we also have the privileges in here. There's a free copy for someone here.
Yes, the moment we're done printing the copies, I'll send 2 copies for Mr. Philip and Madam Betty.
Wow.
Okay, and to the other books that we only asked about the Facebook that you authored. What are the titles for the other books that you did, and where can the people find them?
Okay, so the second book was I wrote it in 2019. The second book was actually the first book took me 3 months to write, because that's the time that I was starting. So the issue of consulting, going back, correcting errors, it took me 3 months. And the second book took me a month. The third book took me 3 weeks to write, and this one took me 3 weeks to write this book. So the second book was creating legacy that surpasses time.
Okay.
Yes, how to create a legacy, how to create your legacy, leaving your footprints on the sand of history. So meaning even after you die, Mr. Philip, people say he lived Mr. Philip. We're the presenter here, Mr. Philip, we're the presenter Betty. So it covers all fears, how people can leave a legacy, a footprint wherever they go. So that even if they die, it's hard to erase their memories. So that's the second book. It just helps people, whether in academics, whether in political field, whatever they do, just to leave a print to say there was a person here. Okay. And the third book is Exceeding the Boundaries of Senses, how people can move through life not using 5 senses, because human being has got more than 5 senses. It's only that people who've been taught by this in schools, and moreover schools are one of the entities that are destroying our creativity.
Okay, so from the common 5 senses that we know, can we share the other senses for the benefit of
wow. So usually when we look at 5 senses, in fact the aspect of 5 senses was discovered by Aristotle, the Greek philosopher. He said people have got 5 senses. Okay, that's true to some extent, but that's not necessarily true. He looked at the things like sight, smelling, then hearing, touch. But if you look at the senses, we've got senses of imagination. It's a sense on its own. Imagination. You find that everything that we see in life, the people who are behind the designing of this, what we're seeing in the studio right now, they have to use a sense of imagination. Meaning whatever we see came to life through imagination. Someone had to imagine, had to envision it coming to life. They had the picture to say, what if I make something that when people are on board, it's able to go in the sky and take it to another place, which is an aircraft. So people that are creative, like artists, writers, people that are able to do things that can make people wonder, they use a sense of imagination, not these 5 senses, because sight is one of the most deceptive sight. In fact,
it's a sense of imagination, not something to do with intelligence. Or
no, actually, intelligence and memory, they are 2 different things. People think if someone is if we're in a class like this, it's a class and you're always coming out the first, Mr. Philip, then I'm always the last in class. That's not intelligence, that's memory. Memory is just a bit to retain knowledge. So if you've got the capacity to retain knowledge, I mean the capacity to retain information, the ability to recall information. We learn in class, maybe me and Madam Betty, we've got extreme social life such that we will be partying all the weekend, we don't even have time to study, then we come out last. It's not because us we are not intelligent, because we don't just have the capacity to retain the information. Yes, you have got the good capacity. So people in schools, in the medicine, lawyer, all these things that we see to be so elite and so intelligent, actually they're not intelligent, they just have good memory. Intelligence is a bit to solve problems. I'm sure people that have got this sense are mothers are the most intelligent people that I know on the planet, because those have got the bit to solve problems. And moreover, a lot of people won't take offense. Mothers are so stronger than fathers, and women are so strong and so smart and so intelligent than fathers. You find, Mr. Philip, that
you can say that
a mother who have 8 children, and she's just selling on the market, she will manage to raise them no matter what, no matter the odds, and they'll be educated. But if a father has got children, then maybe when the wife dies, probably the separation and those issues, the chances of those children to be so groomed and coming to become responsible citizens, they are so slim. Because the moment the mother comes in and another mother comes in, there will be that. Usually males will fail to handle those things. Maybe when you marry again, then trying to marry and raising your children, the children that you had with the previous wife.
So in those special cases where a father is also able to raise the children together alone, and just like invest like our mothers do we still call them less intelligent?
Please, in that category, don't change the subject.
Actually, anyway, there's something so powerful about women. Anyway, women are so strong. Personally, this is my personal research. I've not made
so, isn't it?
That is according to Mr. Mutale. That is what he's saying here.
But you just have to agree.
But women are so strong. Come on, women are so strong. There's something so supernatural about them. That's why do you know what, Mr. Philip? That's why the Lord also had to be so careful to choose the womb in which you were supposed to be born. Didn't just choose just from, So anyway, women.
He reads a lot. He's researched. What is your problem? No, we are so educated. Like personally, I'm so informed. There's so much that I'm learning right now, and I'm telling myself I thought I was actually there. So there's intelligence and also the issue of memory. I mean, retaining the knowledge. I didn't know about that. I'm actually learning about it now. No, this is interesting.
Yeah, it is indeed interesting. And every day that the Lord blesses us, we have to ensure that we keep that open mind so that we can learn more.
Exactly.
Because each day it's a new experience. Just like today, we've experienced something so different from Mr. Mutale, rather. So to you, our dear listeners out there who is listening to this interesting program,
especially the young people,
we are confident that you've picked 1 or 2 things that are going to help you in your endeavors in life, be it in your political career, business-wise, in your relationship, any other discipline of life.
Exactly.
This is the right time to change. This is the right time to know that it's not comfortable. It's not comfortable, and everything is risky. As you should also think beyond the present. Let's get to do it now.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as we come towards the end of the program, Mr. Mutale, when can the people expect this book?
Actually, the book is already out, but our massive printing of the copies will be done this week Friday. So meaning this week Friday the copies will be in, then people can start accessing them. But the books will be available in the book world after that other week.
Okay.
Yes, so at least we'll start with the Mandayo book out there. They can access the copies. Then even the previous book that I did, the Exceeding the Boundaries of Senses, will be also in book world that other week. So people can access it, and some can
Okay, so let's just get to pick this caller that has persisted. Maybe they would love to share something towards the program. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Mrs. Daka around.
Mrs.
Daka.
No, this is the Christian Nation FM, madam.
Pardon?
This is Christian Nation Radio.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we are just forced to pick that call because the number had persisted. Maybe they wanted to share something because we've received some messages here from Mildred Akacha from John Lengi, who says, good afternoon, my people. I am enjoying the program. Hey, Betty.
Wow.
I'm enjoying your show, girlfriend.
Oh, thank you so much, Mildred.
Okay, so you said the book will be available at Monday bookstores?
Yes, it will be available next week, that other week.
Okay, so we even talked about the issues of issues to do with maybe the Zambians not actually buying the products of their own. There is that xenocentrism among most people when it comes to giving preference to other publications that are coming from outside the country. So is it that maybe the Zambian literature or writings that we do, we price them so high?
No, actually, the price is not even something that is so much, because you find that if you go in a lot of stores, products even from people that are not Zambians and people that are foreigners, they might even be much higher expensive than the local products. It's just a mental system that is destroyed for Zambians, whereby they don't believe what Zambians produce. Okay. And it's a system that we want to correct through writing. We want to bring mental enlightenment, because a lot of people are defeated by the culture of Zambia, and probably they've got this aspect of white supremacy, whereby they believe what white people, just because the color of their skin, and that's one of the most primitive way of thinking. So people should start even buying the products of the fellow Zambians. So for people to step into greatness, you have to see the good in other people, in their fellow country, before they can see what other people have. So for Africa even to develop as a continent, they have to see themselves to be so unique. Okay. The moment we start looking ourselves to be vulnerable, always want donors to come on board and help us, that's the first step of us showing weakness, and it's what people from other countries make use to exploit us, because they know Zambians are not so, they don't have confidence in themselves. Just quickly as we are finishing, look at the xenophobia that we had in South Africa. You find that people are just going there to do business. It's not that when these people from Zimbabwe, Zambia, Malawi, when they go there, they're not going to kill them, they're just going to sell their products. Them, they're having the guts to kill their fellow black people, their neighbors. But if a white man comes, no one even would dare slap even a white man, but they've got the audacity to kill their black people. So for us to support the products like Zambian music that we produce here locally, we have to see those people in Zambia to be so creative before you can even download the song for people outside. So we have to start downloading music from Zambia and buying books from Zambia, buying vegetables that are produced locally. Everything, we have to start supporting our fellow Zambians before we can look at external markets.
Interesting. And talking about supporting local, Michael from Matero here comes in to say, today, totally, you have inspired me. How can I get your book, Saviour?
Okay, so Michael, thank you for that remark.
And as we anticipate the release of that book, maybe Michael would love to start doing some savings. How much is he supposed to keep?
So the book is just 100 kwacha. That's a copy, 100 kwacha. So Michael can either access it at the bookstores at Mandayu.
Which is Book World?
Yes, Book World. Or you can just visit our page, Saviour Mtale Author. Then there we can see the proceedings of the sales. Then you can actually get a copy.
Okay. Interesting. So Mr. Michael there, thank you so much for coming through, and I hope you've gotten it from the horse's mouth where you can access the book. So thank you so much, Mr. Mutare, for coming through, and to you, our dear listeners out there, let us ensure that we buy local, we support local. There are quite a good number of writers that we have in this country. I can say